Hi, everyone. Welcome to another edition of What's Up, Bob? Hi, Bob. How are you?
Good, Nicole. How's it going today?
Good.
Almost the weekend.
So exciting. I'm ready. It seems like it's been a long week, a busy week, but I guess that's good. You know, you want to stay busy and active. Hey, Bob, everybody loves your segment. They love to know what's up, Bob. They want to know what's going on with you. Is that flattering?
Well, it's kind of, I'm going to be totally honest. I'm a little surprised by it because I do have people that I know, but some people I don't know that well. And they say they watch this. We call this a podcast, right?
Well, it's really just a conversation on
A
Zoom.
conversation. Yeah. So
Call it whatever you want.
a conversation on Zoom. So it's a cause.
We've created the cause. I'm so excited. We need to patent that. The cause.
That's a great acronym. Now, if anyone uses that term now, cause, we get royalties.
It's a money when it's a moolah.
Put the green in my pocket. I want folding money. That's the way they used to call it, folding money.
So when someone comes up and say, what are you doing today? Say, I just did the cause.
And then they said why, and you go, because.
Because I wanted to do the cause. Oh boy, this is going to be a fun one. I love it. So here we are with What's Up, Bob. And this is when I need you to tell the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey would say. When we last left our viewers and followers, we told them that you were getting ready to share the story about the first time that you almost got arrested was on the last day of school when you drove to school for the first time. Did I have that right?
You got the whole thing. The only thing I might clarify a little bit there, you said the first time you almost got arrested, and that's the only time.
Oh, okay. Good.
I haven't been on my way to the paddy wagon any more than once.
Okay, good. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to insinuate you had gotten almost in trouble a bunch. Okay, so do you want to start with the rest of the story?
Yeah, and this, and we're talking about, again, I'm showing my age. We're talking about 45 years ago. So parts of it are a little vague. But I even talked to one of my buddy that was in the truck with me at the time the other day while I was coming back from the upstate, and some of his recollections are a little vague too. But basically, you told the beginning of the story. I lived a little bit out of town, so I took the bus all the time, and I didn't have my own car, and my parents didn't drive me anywhere. So we
like hitchhiking. Remind folks where you're from and where you live too.
This was in Annapolis, Maryland. That's where I was. I wasn't born there, but I was born near there, and then I was raised there, and then I came down here. But the last day of school as a senior at Annapolis High School, I asked my dad if I could take his truck. It was a 1968 white Chevrolet pickup truck, a 3-speed on the column.
No way.
And I said, because after it was a half day of school, and after the half day of school, I was going to go out and look for a summer job. So the school day went fine, and we're getting out of school for like at noon or 11:30, and me and some buddies heard that some other people are at another spot. So we drove over there to see them. There's about 10 guys, 10, 11 guys there at the spot near the old bowling alley. It's not even there anymore. So these guys, for some reason, they had a big box of water balloons. And their idea was to go back, and again, this is crazy, but again, the idea was to go back to school with the water balloons, and it wasn't me, it was these guys.
Oh yeah, I see what you said.
I didn't even know they had the water balloons, and there were a couple guys that went with me over there, and they didn't know either, but you know, it seemed like a fun idea. So they had the water balloons in a box, like maybe 20 or 30 of them. So a couple guys are in the cab. I'm driving. There's like 8 guys in the back of the pickup truck. In those days, you could go wherever you want to in the back of a pickup truck. And we started going back to school because we were going to hit people at school with the water balloons. So we get driving down, going back into downtown Annapolis. And I'm sitting there driving, and they start throwing at people walking on the street.
Oh, no.
And I'm going, what in the heck are you all doing? I'm screaming out the window like, stop that. You know, you're going to get in trouble. So then, I mean, that's terrible. I mean, it wasn't even I don't even know what they're doing back there. Let's look that thing on the Wedding Crashers. What are they doing back there? So we're driving down the road. I'm chugging along with my old man's truck, and
yelling at your friends.
Coming the other way is an old school bus that's been converted into it's been painted. It's like, instead of yellow, it's like dark green or something, or blue.
Right.
And these guys that we knew were going to take this bus. They took this bus. They converted it into like a bus for their church or for their youth organization, and they were getting ready I think the next day to take the bus and all their little kids or something on a trip. So here comes this bus coming the other way, and of course we recognized the bus. Hey, there's so-and-so's bus. And the guys in the back of the thing throw water balloons at the bus.
Oh, no.
And shatter the windshield.
What?
Yeah. And later I'm going, how did that happen? But then you're thinking, you're going 30. The bus is going 30 the other way. So it's like a water balloon hitting you at 60. So it broke the glass. And it's an old bus.
Right.
But we didn't even know. At least I didn't. I think a couple of the guys back in the back later said, I think we broke the windshield out. But I didn't know it. I mean, because I'm driving, we're zipping past there. I knew they threw water balloons at the bus, but I didn't know what happened. So we getting close to the school, and there's a guy behind. This is before cell phones, but there's a guy behind me from Maryland DNR, like an agent.
Right.
He saw the whole thing.
Oh.
So he's got a two-way radio. He calls the cops.
Breaker 19.
Yeah, KPG 296.
Right.
So we get back to school. I didn't know what the guy was going to do. And then he was like being real stern, like, you know, I guess he was a licensed law enforcement officer.
Sure, yeah.
And he was saying how he's called the police because we broke the window. I said, oh, what are you doing? So the next thing we know, it looks like it looks like Hawaii 5-0. There's like 20 cop cars in the parking lot at Annapolis Senior High School. And they threatened to take us down, but then the guys with the bus came up and they said they weren't going to press any charges. I don't remember all the particulars. So instead of going down and getting booked for destruction of property or whatever, they gave me a ticket for littering.
You are lucky.
It was like $110 though, and that's like $500 and some now.
Right, right.
I didn't have any money.
We still don't have any money, right?
Yeah, so nothing's changed.
Except you are making better decisions. You know, it's interesting you hear that story. It's really a very innocent story compared to some of the stories that we shared today. One thing I picked up on, though, was the church bus. They showed you guys a lot of grace that day. That's pretty cool, though, in itself.
And then, you know, I think the ticket was like $110 or something like that. So there was coincidentally about 11 guys or 12 guys. So I went around and got $10 from everyone. And that was kind of a chore too. And my father was going, you're not getting that money. And
How do you do that, Bob? How do you do that?
You're not getting that money. You know that, don't you? I said, yeah, I am. Because they're not going to pay it. And I think I got it all, but maybe $20.
Hey. You got to keep at it. You got to keep at it.
Yeah, so I guess in a way my dad was right.
Yeah, well, our parents typically know more than we do still today. But, you know, it's interesting. You had not told me the rest of the story until today. I didn't see that one coming, but that's pretty funny, Bob. I'm glad it all worked out, though.
Yeah, I am too. And I have no record, as far as I know. Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. I don't have a record either, but I can say I have a lead foot and I have been stopped for speeding before, and I'm working on that. But okay, interesting story. Now we know the rest of the story. Well, and
I know your story's changed. I know we talk a lot about it. We'll be talking a lot about it as we get closer, but we're getting closer and closer to when you semi-retire.
I know. I'm too young to retire, but it's working. It worked out well, you know, to find a great guy and to get married again. Things that I never thought would ever happen to me. Wow, and I'm getting teary-eyed because you know I'm so emotional these days, and I was telling you earlier, I feel vulnerable today. A lot's going on in the world, and a lot of changes, and you try to maintain professionalism and not let your emotions get the best of you. But it is an exciting time, but it's definitely a different time, changing time. I mean, you and I've been together since, well, we've worked together since 1993.
No, 1992.
92. And we started anchoring together in 94. So, I mean, you and I, we've been a couple for a long time, and we're sort of the last man standing of the older folks, you know, at News 13. And you're my family, and we've shared so much together through our lives. And so TV sort of becomes your identity, but you know, there's more to you than that. I'm a child of God. I'm a mother. I'm now a wife, and I'm a daughter. I'm a member of the community. I have friends. But in television, it's really different because honestly, you and I've said this before, we don't really know how to do anything else.
Yeah.
It's not like we've got great computer skills, or we are, you know, can do some of the things that the younger generation can do. And we have this special relationship with the people in our community and viewers. And when people have shared with me, hey, we've named our daughter after you, and I'm like, wow, how awesome is that? And I'm so humbled that people have done things like that. But it is an exciting time, but it's definitely an emotional time, and I will miss everyone. You know, I will miss the when we're on air and we're anchoring and we're telling the stories. There's the camaraderie that we have between one another. People will never know until now that we're doing What's Up, Bob, that you and I sing a lot when we're
During
down
the commercial breaks, yeah.
on the commercial breaks, or we'll hear something funny and we'll just, I think we have our own language. Like, I don't even know how this came up, but the other day we're like, zip, 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 you know, goofy things like that. I don't even know how they started or where they came from, but
I think a little bit of that came from Austin Powers, and then we just like moved it to another level, yeah. $1 million.
So no one's gonna know that, but like me and you, and I will miss that most of all. Is our things that we share every day, and that are just fun, silly stuff, because in our line of work, it's hard sometimes to talk about the sad things that are going on, but you have to have a way to, you know, find some joy and find happiness and find funny things to talk about. And you and I are just two really silly people behind the scenes. People are like, "Y'all so serious," when we're really not. We're very silly, and I think.
Yeah, we may. I mean, I'm sure there's some people that are less serious than us, but I don't know if I know them. I mean, I don't. We're pretty not serious when it comes to a lot of things, and then we talk about serious subjects. So it's kind of a paradox. I guess that'd be the way to.
Yeah, I think so.
But you know what's amazing, and people might not realize this, and you more than I, because you've been at the station a little bit longer, although I was there one little time back in the 80s and then left and came back. But you and I have worked for 11 different news directors and eight different general managers. That's 19 people. And what are the odds that of 19 people that have control over us, not one of them said, you know what, I don't like that Nicole Boone. And I mean, a lot of people, like, I worked for one person in Spartanburg and the guy couldn't stand me. Here's 19. I mean, so, I mean, it's just amazing. And then throw in consultants, and they all have their ideas. They're getting paid to do something. Why not get rid of the anchor? It's amazing. It's amazing that for 31 years, you've been able to last on top in the #1 station in this market, a growing market, a legacy station. I mean, one of the great stations, and I'm not just exaggerating, in the country when it comes to dominance in their market. And you've lasted 31 years. That's something to be proud of.
Wow, Bob, when you put it like that, I guess it is. Thank you. Well, I think that part of it is just we make a really good team. And good Lord above was always looking out for me because he knew I couldn't do anything else, and he knew I really enjoyed what I did.
Well, you can do other things, and I'm the one that has nothing to do.
Well, yes.
But it's been a fun ride. It's been a fun ride, and it's not going to end just because you're just working briefly.
Yeah, you know, working once a month, but the beauty of it is that you and I can still talk like this. We'll still see each other, you know, once a month, and you and I have a friendship that will last forever. And so for that, I'm very thankful for.
And we'll still do the cause, right?
Like, for $1 million, we'll continue to do the cause, which is the conversation on Zoom.
You know, it's a coincidence. We're getting exactly $1 million less for doing this, but it's worth it.
Totally worth it. I hope that our viewers and followers find some joy in all of this, and that they can relate in some way with their own lives, their changing lives, the changing times. To see people that, you know, when you always just see us so fixed and everything, to see that we're real and we have feelings and we're going through things. So I hope that by our cause, we're able to give people some hope, some joy, some fun, some insight, you know, because it's just not wasted time to be here. It really does serve a purpose. And that's what I want to always be able to do, is to do something that brings people joy, happiness, hope. You know, let them know that all things are going to be okay in the world, no matter what you're going through and no matter what's happening in your life. So we'll continue to talk about me, you know, leaving full time, but that's November 19th is my last full day. But until then, let's talk about, this is a great transition to what's the national holiday for today, Bob?
It's amazing. It's amazing. It is Slap Your Irritating Coworker Day. And I'm sure everyone's got an irritating coworker. You know what, though? Right now, at least in the station, I don't know if I do have an irritating coworker, unless I slap myself. I find myself somewhat irritating. But
no,
but everyone has, like, I'm sure there's been people in everyone's life that they could better do without. But right now at our station, at least, I don't know of anyone that I'd want to slap. But it is Slap Your Irritating Coworker Day. I probably irritate people. So,
little tongue in cheek, we don't recommend you do that. But maybe you can think that in your head when someone is irritating you. You can think, Bob said today was Slap Your Irritating Coworker Day. Just in your mind, you know, get you through the day. But I thought that was funny. And we actually have a local birthday coming up. I would consider a celebrity, someone well known.
Yeah, I saw that. Senator Gerald Malloy out of Hartsville. Busy fella in Columbia. So he's going to be 59 years old on Monday, I believe.
A young 59, as you like to say, a young 59. And just recently, a building at Florence Darlington Tech was named after him. So
that's right.
Doing some great things there. I like Senator Malloy. I've enjoyed reporting on him and getting to know him over the years. So happy birthday, Senator Malloy.
That's right.
Well, we actually want to share something that is close to our hearts. We have learned of the passing of Angela Hanna of Bennettsville. She is a great person. She apparently fell ill this past week and has left us to go on to be with her Heavenly Father. We don't really know all the circumstances of what led to her sickness and being hospitalized, but Angela is a well-known photographer really across the entire state, but she is from Bennettsville, and we just want to send our condolences to her family, her daughter and mother. And I've known Angela, goodness, for years and years. She would come to the station and do some work with us, and then she's actually taken pictures of my daughter Livy for She magazine. back when Livy was about 12 years old. I mean, she was just so talented in her photography, but even more so, she was just a good, kind soul, and it's really hard to hear of her passing.
Yeah, yeah.
I know it's so hard. You just don't even realize, you know, people are
Yeah,
just
when I saw that,
one day.
I admittedly, I broke down a little. I mean, I just couldn't, someone that young and that talented. And, you know, I just talked to her a couple of weeks ago, and she and I had a really good relationship. And she's so talented, and, you know, she loved her family. She's so faithful to the Lord.
Yeah.
Her daughter, Kersey, her dog. You know, her photos were, you know, they were so beautiful, but it's how she saw the world. I mean, she had fantasy photos a lot of times, but she saw the world. Some people would say through rose-colored glasses, but that's the way she saw the world, and that's the way she saw everybody.
Which is so honorable and so admirable, and so good to know that somebody like Angela Hanna all saw us in such a good light. You know, she did always see the good and always had kind things to say, and her photography, her talents, they will live on forever. And I'm so thankful I have a piece of her in my home now, with the pictures that she took of Livy, which were absolutely breathtaking. And for all the people out there that are mourning the loss of Angela Hanna out of Bennettsville, our thoughts are with you today. You have lost a true treasure in your community, and
The whole PD. I mean, she was like, you know how they do those things with the newspaper, #1 restaurant, #1 hairstylist. I mean, she was consistent, the #1 photographer in the area. It is a devastating loss.
yeah, it really is. So, she was a good soul, and she's probably taking a lot of beautiful pictures in heaven right now. I can't
If
even.
anyone goes, I mean, I'm a believer. I believe that's our destiny. If you do believe, but she's at the top of the list.
100%. So we just wanted to pay tribute to her today because we both love her and think so much of her, and of course her family. And so to Angela Hanna out of Bennettsville, South Carolina, photographer #1, you are loved, you are missed, and to your family, we are thinking about you during this difficult time.
We certainly are.
Yeah. Bob, I think that we will end What's Up, Bob, there today. We've covered a lot of highs and lows, and we've put our heart and soul on the plate for people today. My friend, until we do What's Up, Bob again, I'll see you at work, and I continue to enjoy the time that you and I have together on the anchor desk, but enjoy a lifetime of friendship. I never take it for granted.
I agree. Thank you, Nicole. I'll see you at work.
All right.